Going to touch on some breaking news as I bring you some footage here from overnight concerning two police officers who were shot and killed in a northern Utah city. A man taken into custody, and we're hearing now that another police officer was wounded. Just a couple of minutes ago, we saw that an update was being had, a briefing from investigators down there on the scene. It is still going on at this moment, but we do want to play it for you from the beginning. Let's take a look.
So, good morning. My name is Chad Reyes. I'm the Chief of Police with Brigham City Police Department, and I'm here on behalf of Chief Dustin Cordova and Sheriff Kevin Potter. They've asked me to give the media an update because they need to spend some time with their departments, as I'm sure you can understand. On August 17th at 21:02 hours, so 9:02 p.m., the Box Elder Communications Center received multiple 911 hangups from an address near 700 North, 200 East in Tremont, Utah. An officer from the Tremont and Garland Police Department responded and began speaking with an occupant of the home who was reporting an apparent domestic disturbance, at which time a male emerged from the residence with a firearm. The male opened fire on the officer, striking and killing the officer. A second officer with Tremont and Garland Police Department responded to assist the first and was immediately fired upon by the same male suspect. The second officer was also struck and killed by the suspect's gunfire. A third officer deputy from the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office had also been dispatched to assist, and as they arrived in the area, the suspect fired several rounds into the deputy's vehicle, striking the deputy and the deputy's police service dog. After being hit by gunfire, the deputy and police service dog remained in their vehicle and were subsequently evacuated to an area hospital and specialty veterinary clinic where they received medical treatment. Both are recovering and in fair condition now. After firing upon these officers and police service dog, the suspect was convinced to put down his weapon by bystanders, and he was immediately taken into custody by additional responding officers. Due to the level of violence and lack of information precipitating this incident, SWAT teams responded to clear the home and verify no continued threat remained. The suspect was booked into the Box Elder County Jail on charges of aggravated murder. Weber County Attorney's Office is coordinating the ongoing homicide investigation. Tragedies like these rock the entire community, state, and even nation. These officers and their families served their community every day and will forever be remembered as heroes. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Tremont and Garland Police Department, Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, and the family of those involved. We're grateful for the swift response from multiple agencies from Box Elder, Weber, and Cache counties. And I'll answer any questions.
Hard not to notice the emotions as you're reading through that. And how are your officers, and more importantly, the Tremont and Garland officers, handling all this right now?
As you can imagine, like I said, it rocks an entire community, especially the police department. As I mentioned at the beginning of this, Chief Cordova asked me to be here so he could be with his department and his family and take care of their needs as much as one can in a situation like this.
Can you identify the names of the officers who were killed?
We're not ready to do that just yet.
What about the shooter?
He's been booked into jail, but we're not releasing his identity yet either. We're kind of coordinating with Weber County Attorney's Office, and also Chief Cordova has expressed his desire to come out and give a statement. He's just not ready to do that yet, and so I'm just kind of giving as vague but as much information as I can until he's ready to give more.
And I know they were responding to an apparent domestic disturbance, but are you able to provide any more details on what exactly led up to the shooting?
Just that we received multiple 911 calls to that address, and when we responded, we were talking to one occupant who was giving us information that led us to believe that there was a precipitating domestic, but nothing more than that.
What do we know about the bystanders? Were they neighbors?
We believe so, yes. We're still in the process of interviewing those people.
Does the suspect have a violent background?
I am unaware of what his background is.
Is he an adult male?
An adult male, yes.
Chief, can you kind of talk about how this affects, obviously this would affect any police department incredibly, but this is also a very small community and a small department. You said 21 officers in this department?
Right. Yeah, as I mentioned in the press release, having 2 officers killed in the line of duty, and another and their dog injured is an event that really rocks an entire nation. You know, luckily in this area and really in this state, we have police departments have the support of the public for the most part, and it's just a tragedy. It affects the entire state, but most importantly, you know, the Tremont and Garland Police Department. That's why we're here trying to do what we can to assist them.
Did they die on scene?
Yes.
Is there any more you can say about how the deputy and the deputy's police service dog are doing at this time?
Yes, they're both in fair condition, and the deputy's actually been released from the hospital, and the police service dog will remain at the veterinary clinic just as a precaution for the night.
But expected to survive?
Yes.
Do we know if the shooter lived at the home as well?
Yes, he did. We believe so.
We know these domestic violence calls can be so volatile. What can you tell us about these types of calls?
They really are unknown. We don't know what we're walking into, and they are one of the most dangerous events we can be dispatched on. And like I said, these officers have been doing this. They you know, took an oath to protect and serve their communities, and that's what they were doing, and they knew the dangers going into this, and unfortunately they paid the ultimate price.
Can you tell us how long they served?
I don't know the exact answer to that.
And can you tell us, you know, this, like we were talking about, this community is pretty tight and it is small. So something like this, what should people do to kind of get through the day? Anything that the community should do to support each other? Anything they should know?
I think some of you were here when some of the council members and the mayor were bringing around, you know, breakfast for the officers and just trying to be supportive. I think that kind of outpouring of support from the community is welcome too, but we do ask that community stay away from the area until we're done with the investigation and processing the scene thoroughly.
Do we know his relationship with the other person who answered the door?
I don't know that we're ready to release that information yet, but we do. We have an idea of what the relationship was.
And do we know if the person who answered the door was a man or a woman?
I don't know that we're ready to release that information yet either. They lived in the same home.
Are you able to say what type of firearm was used?
I can't yet.
Can you tell us more about the witnesses who were in the area and convinced the suspect to put his weapon down?
We believe they were neighbors, and as I mentioned, we're still trying to locate and identify and interview all of the bystanders and witnesses that were in the area. We're not confident that we've contacted all of them yet, so I don't know that I can comment much more, but we do believe that they were neighbors.
It seems like that was a very volatile situation for them as well, and potentially life-threatening.
Right, correct, yeah.
What does it say to you that people who were just standing by as bystanders were able to convince the shooter to put down his gun?
You know, I think that we've talked a little bit about community and the tight-knit group here. I think those acquaintances and relationships probably played a key role into that, into getting him to put down his weapons and surrender.
Do you know an age range of the suspects?
I don't. Do you know an age range?
Did not get an age range at all.
I'm sorry. I don't know that. I just know an adult male, over 20 at least. So
It seems like a lot of agencies from around the area are coming together here. Tell us about your relationships between these various agencies.
Yeah, so Box Elder County the entire county is a pretty tight-knit community, and we all share the same dispatch and CAD system, and so when an incident like this occurs, you know, it's all hands on deck, and try to support our sister agencies and brother agencies as much as we can.
Do we have any idea how many officers from those agencies as a total responded?
I can't say an exact number, but I'll say that we had even officers, as the press release mentions, from Cache County, Logan City, Weber, Ogden. I would estimate there were probably upwards of 40 to 50 officers here.
And do we know what's going on right now on the scene as far as what's happening here at the investigation?
So we're in the process of processing the scene, which includes obtaining search warrants and diagramming, processing forensics, everything else that goes into a case like this, and we'll probably be here for several more hours.
Is this road closed?
Sorry.
Are you able to say anything about the procession earlier today? We were kind of following on our cameras.
Yeah, so that is customary. As I mentioned, these officers are definitely heroes, and we want to afford them that respect. And so that's a tradition that law enforcement has, to honor those that pay this type of price. And so a lot of agencies from around the state have assisted us in doing that.
Have the search warrants been obtained to go in the home at this point?
I can't speak to that because I don't know the answer, but I know that they've been applied for, yes.
Do you know if the first officer responded by themselves, or were they with a partner at that point?
The first officer arrived here alone, shortly followed by the second. Any other questions? I appreciate you guys being out here.
Is this road going to be closed for a while?
We're actually going to condense the crime scene down one more block, but that'll be closed for, as I mentioned, several hours today still.
And we were talking a little bit earlier about how many times, an officer-involved shootings happen in this area. Is it something that you guys have seen before, or is it the first one that's kind of rocking this area?
I'm not aware of any other officer-involved shootings that resulted in this kind of injury to law enforcement that have occurred in Box Elder County recently. I believe this is one of the first, and Detective Beck might be able to speak better to that.
I think that the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office had an officer-involved shooting in 2012 or 2013, but the officer was not injured.
Anything else you'd like to add, Chief?
No, I appreciate the community support that Tremont and Garland has received and that law enforcement receives, and I thank you guys for being out here too.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Take these off.
And that was the latest update that we had just moments ago. Investigators down there on the ground in Tremonton, Utah, 2 officers killed after they were shot. On your screen, you also have this, and bringing you a closer look at some of the scene footage from overnight. Now, the officers were responding to a domestic disturbance call on a Sunday in that neighborhood.